I'm Stacy.
Hi, Shelley.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Did you find the place
I
okay?
did.
Good. How was parking?
Good, and traffic was good getting here today.
That's good.
Yeah, thank you.
Before we can go any further, I need to explain to you the limits of confidentiality. Everything that you tell me will be held in confidence. However, there are 3 exceptions to this policy. 1, should you tell me that you are going to harm yourself, I'll have to report your threat to the authorities. I will also do all that I can to prevent you from harming yourself. 2, should you tell me that you are going to harm someone else, I will have to warn that person that you have threatened. I will also have to report your threat to the authorities. Again, I will do all that I can to prevent you from harming anyone else. 3, should you tell me that you abused a child or vulnerable adult, or that you intend to abuse a child or vulnerable adult, I will have to report your admission to Child Protective Services of Nebraska or Adult Protective Services of Nebraska. Please tell me your understanding of these limits of confidentiality.
Well, if I'm going to harm myself, you have to tell authorities or try to prevent that, or harm somebody else. Again, you would have to tell proper authorities and try to prevent me from harming myself. And then if I were to abuse a child or a vulnerable adult, I think it was, then you would have to tell authorities.
Yes.
Thank you.
What brings you here today?
Well, I was talking with my coworkers. I've never been to a therapist. I've been married 26 years, and I thought we had a pretty good relationship, but lately, all we do is argue, and it seems to be about these very same thing, and it's money. And with the economy and everything, just it seems like in the last couple of years, we have no extra money to do anything extra, and it's just, I can't believe the added stress. It's like I'm not even married to the same man. He used to be happy and, you know, easy to get along with, and we used to enjoy each other's company, and now all we do is argue, and the blame always seems to be on me. I handle all the finances at our house, and every argument, and it's almost daily, is about money and lack of money, and we just don't get to buy anything or spend any extra money. But both of our, you know, we're thankful to have jobs, but both of our companies, there is no extra overtime now. We used to both get overtime, so now we're thankful that we have a 40-hour-a-week job, but there's no extra money. And it just, my husband is just not the same person, and I thought maybe we should go see a marriage counselor. He says, no, you need to go see a finance, a budgeted, you know, or someone to figure out our finances, because you're spending all of our money. Well, I don't think it's all me. You know, I'm just making the payments and doing the best I can, but it's really added extra strain on our marriage. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. When you say he does not want to talk about finances, but then he complains about it, what does he complain about?
Just that we never get to go out to eat anymore. We used to go out to eat for happy hour, you know, go with friends and meet them for a pitcher of beer or something. There's no extra money. By the time I, you know, buy the groceries and pay the bills, and, you know, and then he wants nothing to do with sitting down and looking at the checkbook, but he's just so upset with all of our problems revolve around money and lack of money.
Right, but what you're telling me is that you're also here because it's hurting your marriage?
Terribly. We just don't even get along anymore. That's all we argue about is the finances, and I feel like I'm alone in this, because he says we don't need marriage counseling. I need to do better with our budget and our finances. And so it's taking a toll on both of us, but me to the point where I just don't even enjoy being at home.
So you don't enjoy being around him at all?
No, because it's every day he brings up money, and how come we can't do the things we used to do? But I just don't, it's not my problem alone.
Do you see it as a problem that you can't go out to movies, or you can't go out to dinner?
There's just no extra money.
But is that a problem for you? Do you?
Well, I thought maybe we could just watch TV at home, but he likes to watch a lot of sports and stuff. You know, he likes to go out to eat and likes to go out and meet friends and stuff, and there is no money for that.
So what you're telling me the problem is that you don't have enough money and that is adding stress to your marriage.
Yes.
So you would agree that is a problem?
Yes.
Is money affecting your marriage?
Yes, and it makes me just so sad because we just don't even have fun or laugh anymore.
And you want to get back to that?
Yes.
Without having to worry about the money?
Right.
Yes. And that can be, that's understandable, and like you said, with the economy, you are not the only one going through this. Money is stretched thin everywhere.
Yeah.
And this is a rising problem. I think we should set up a goal for your treatment. Do you think it'd be helpful to work on relieving tension with your husband and also work on budgeting your finances?
Yeah.
So you would agree that those would be two goals that...
Yeah, one would help the other. I would like to see my husband come here, but I don't think that's going to happen. So any ideas you have that I can pass on to him to get through to him that, you know, I don't want this to just be my problem. I just feel like it's all my burden and my problem. And I don't know how to get across to him that I need some help, or together we can sort it out. I must just be attacking him when he says stuff about money, because it ends up in an argument every single time.
So you want him along for the ride, is what you're saying?
Right, right.
Okay, so let's say for a goal that you get your husband involved with this process,
Yeah,
and also find ways to budget your finances.
yeah.
To reach these goals, you can try a number of things. Have you tried a part-time job?
Well, that's just it. I do work 40 hours a week, and so does he. He works construction, so he's tired. By the time he works his 40 hours, a part-time job wouldn't work for him. And with me, I've looked. There just doesn't seem to be anything out there that works for my schedule that would not already hurt my first full-time job. So
Okay.
I don't think that's an option.
That's not an option. How about for the relieving tension with your husband? Have you ever tried using the I and we statements?
No, and that's where I need help, is because he must feel attacked, because then he attacks me. I need to learn to talk to him to where I pull him into the conversation, but I don't know how.
So you're saying you attack him. You don't.
Well, I feel attacked because he thinks I'm spending all the money, but when I want to sit down and show him it's going for bills and utilities and the grocery store, I'm not out getting pedicures and manicures. He doesn't want to see the finances. He said, oh, well, it doesn't matter. We don't have any money. We're never going to be able to do anything. I can't get him to sit down and together come up with a solution.
I think it's great that you're able to handle all these finances, but I think it would be helpful if instead of saying, I'm doing all this, or attacking one another, you use I and we statements, like, I feel that the budget is not as stable as we would like it, as I would like to see it, or I feel attacked when you say I'm spending your money foolishly. And with using we statements,
Yeah.
that can be helpful too, because you can use we statements and it brings people together instead of attacking one another.
Yeah, and I know I need to do that, you know, and come up with something that, even if we could just work out a budget to where there would be extra money at some point to surprise him and maybe go out to eat and meet our friends, you know, like we used to on Fridays, to where he'd be surprised, but that I don't have to worry how I'm going to make up for that.
Right. And like you said, you had mentioned you tried a monthly budget.
Yeah.
Was that?
Well, I didn't give it enough time because something comes up, either something with the vehicle, or, you know, something extra that was unexpected, and then I just feel defeated, and so I don't know what to do.
And that's understandable. you could try a weekly budget, because breaking things up into something smaller can also really help. Just not focusing on a month, but a week at a time.
Oh yeah, yeah, that would maybe work.
Yeah, and I mean, it can be very effective because you're not looking into the future so much. You're just focusing on the here and now. So we've eliminated the part-time job. What do you think would be best with the I and we statements?
Well, I probably do need to not always just feel so attacked. I know he's frustrated too because there's not enough money to go around, but maybe ask him, you know, tell him how I'm feeling in a more positive way, and then try to pull him in as we together can come up with a game plan so maybe we can have a night out or not feel so attacked all the time.
Right. That sounds great. And also, I'm going to add one more thing in there you can do, and then we can decide what we want to work on.
Okay.
You can write down what is stressing you, or write down what you think is being spent that you can cut back on.
Yeah.
Do you think which thing do you think would be the best for
Probably
you
at the
right now?
grocery store I could cut back. I always feel like I have to make all these big dinners because that way I'll keep everybody happy. But really, I could maybe cut down at the grocery store and shop the ads more. You know, there's more I could be doing to save a little bit of money. I guess I could try that.
And do you want to, so with these three things, let's just work on one, because we don't want you to become overstressed and then not want to do any of these things. We had mentioned the I and we, using I and we statements,
Yeah.
the weekly budget.
The weekly budget, I really like that because maybe that won't, if I could just get through 1 week, maybe breaking it into smaller portions, I wouldn't feel so overwhelmed. So I do like that idea.
So let's go with that.
Okay.
And like you said, you can work on breaking it up into smaller things, and that can relieve an immense amount of stress. So
Yeah.
do you
I feel
think-
better just even talking to you. I know I could probably alleviate some of the tension just by not being so stressed myself and waiting for the next shoe to drop.
Right, and
So-
it's nice to just get everything out on the table
Yep.
with someone
Yeah.
you know that's not gonna. So I say for next time we work on the weekly budget, and when
Okay.
you come in next week, we'll see how that worked out, and then we'll focus more next week on maybe the marriage.
Okay, yeah.
All right, it was nice meeting
Hey,
you.
it was nice meeting you, Megan. Thank you.
No problem.